Hello students, have a good day to all. Today we are going to continue with the second chapter and we are going to learn part 2, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. This lesson is all about Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was a great Shehnai player of India. He made valuable contribution to the world of music through the Shehnai. He was honored with India's highest civilian honor, Bharat Ratna, in the year 2001 for his contribution to music. Thus, this chapter throws light on the origin of Shehnai and the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Let us begin this chapter. Let me read the first paragraph. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called panji in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Panji became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the panji. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the panji and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the panji, had to be given a name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a nai, the instrument was named the Shehnai. Now, let me give you the explanation of this first paragraph. In the olden days, a musical instrument named panji was played in the royal palaces. But this instrument was banned by the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. He did not allow this instrument to be played in his court because he felt that it had a very shrill, unpleasant sound. All types of musical instruments which uses wind to produce sound are classified as panji. As Aurangzeb banned all these reeded noisemakers, especially when he banned panji in his court, no one thought that it would be revived one day and it would produce sweet music. So, there was a barber from a family of professional musicians. They used to perform music shows in the royal palaces. He wanted to play panji, but as it was banned by the emperor, he decided to improve the sound of panji. So he took a pipe with a natural hollow stem. It was longer and broader than panji. He made 7 holes on the body of that pipe. So, a pipe which is hollow from inside and which has holes on it was made by the barber. When he blew air into the pipe and closed and opened different holes, he found that soft and melodious sounds were produced by that new instrument. So he took this instrument to the royal court and everyone was impressed by its sound and they all liked it. The members of royal court thought that this instrument was different from panji. So they thought of giving a name to this new instrument. Now there is a story behind the name given to this instrument. How this instrument got the name Shehnai. So that story is like this. The instrument was played for the first time in the royal residence of Shah. Shah was a name given to the Mughal kings. And it was performed by the nai. That is, nai is the Indian word for a barber. Since it was played by a nai for the first time, they called it Shehnai. So the first part of the Shehnai, Sh, S-H-E-H, Sh stands for Shah, and the second part, Nai, that means barber. Thus, this new instrument was named as Shehnai. Now let me read you the second paragraph. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. The explanation of this paragraph is: the sound which was produced by Shehnai was considered to be a good omen, and it began to be played on every good occasions in our country. Shehnai is played in temples, and it became an important part of even North Indian weddings also. In the olden days, Shehnai was a part of Naubat. Naubat is an Urdu word, and it means the playing of 9 traditional group of musical instruments. So these 9 musical instruments were played at the royal court of Mughals, and Shehnai was also a part of that Naubat. Thus, Shehnai was played at king's court, in temples, and even at weddings. Gradually, Shehnai was played on stage performance also, and the credit for bringing this instrument on stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan, who was a legendary Shehnai player. Let me read the third paragraph now. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumron in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So in this third paragraph, we get some information about the childhood of Bismillah Khan. When Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he lived in an ancient estate named Dumron in Bihar. He used to play Gilli Danda with other boys there. You know, Gilli Danda is an old sport that children used to play with sticks. Though Bismillah Khan was a Muslim boy, he would also go to the nearby temple, and he would sing the semi-classical song Chaita in Bhojpuri language. Bhojpuri is a language spoken in an area of Bihar. When he finished singing the song, he used to get a big laddu as a reward, and the weight of that laddu was 1.25 kg. Here the writer says that this little boy has received the highest civilian award in India, that is Bharat Ratna. He got this award at the age of 80. Now the fourth paragraph. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Baks Khan, was a Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpur King's Court. His father, Paigambar Baks, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Now let's look into the explanation of fourth paragraph. Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916. He belongs to a family of musicians from Bihar. Many family members of Bismillah Khan were Shehnai players. His ancestors, they were great Shehnai players. Thus, Bismillah Khan acquired the skill of playing Shehnai from his ancestors. His grandfather, his name was Rasul Baks Khan. He was a great Shehnai player of Bhojpur King's Court. And then his father, Paigambar Baks, and many uncles, other paternal ancestors were also great players of Shehnai. Now the fifth paragraph. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Soon, Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baks to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baks was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baks would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and the Mangalamaya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Let's see the explanation of fifth paragraph now. When Bismillah Khan was 3 years old, his mother took him to her parents' house. That means to her house, mother's house. They were living in Banaras. Today, you know, Banaras is called as Varanasi. There he saw his uncles playing Shehnai and he was attracted towards it. And he also wanted to learn playing it. So, Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle Ali Bakhsh to the Vishnu temple in Banaras. Ali Bakhsh was employed in that temple as a Shehnai player. When his uncle Ali Bakhsh played Shehnai, Bismillah Khan would sit there for many hours in the temple listening to him playing the Shehnai. Gradually, Bismillah Khan also started learning to play the Shehnai and he would practice throughout the day. For many years, he stayed in Banaras and he would visit the temple of Balaji, temple of Mangalamaya and the banks of river Ganga, and he practiced playing the Shehnai all by himself in these places. He was also inspired and motivated by the river Ganga. The flowing waters of Ganga inspired Bismillah Khan to improve his performance, and he also invented many ragas that were considered impossible to be produced by a Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan worked very hard and invented different sounds with the Shehnai. Okay, my dear students, hope that these many paragraphs are clear to all of you. Now let me wind up this session here today. We'll continue this chapter in the next session. Until we meet again, take care. Bye-bye.